Welcome to another episode of Gaming and Performance. I'm your host. I've returned with another video, and in this video, I want to discuss with you my findings after using the Art is War audio guide to allow you to hear footsteps in Warzone and in 6v6 matches. So let us begin. I primarily play 6v6. I don't really play Warzone. That's not an interest for me. The maps are too big, in my opinion, to play with the number of opponents that you have. And it's like a hide and seek kind of thing for me, which I don't like. I don't like hide and seek first person shooter kind of games where you have to listen to find people and go running half a mile to find them. That's just my opinion. It may sound overly dramatic. However, that's how I perceive Warzone, unless they add another 100 more people, in my opinion. Make it clear why I don't play Warzone, why I prefer 6v6. However, Art is War guide for Footstep audio works perfectly fine in 6v6 matches. I have tweaked it a little bit. And as you see before you, I made my configuration text file a little more cleaner by putting all my work that I did to set up the profiles for my hardware along with Art is War profiles in its own tab, leaving the config text file looking a little more cleaner with the ability to enable and disable what I need and when I need it, and leaving it where the VST plugins and the preamplification is visible and accessible to me. It is the best way that I found to do that. You got Hasubi there, you got your profile for your hardware, and you have the profile for Art is War. I called it Call of Duty, but be that as it may. Why did I create this video? Because I determined that even though he updated his guide to allow for profiles for hardware through Gadgetry Tech, using Hasubi, it does not affect the analysis panel. The reason why I say it does not affect the analysis panel, because when I started using them, because I have several different IEMs myself and I have several different headphones, I was not hearing a difference with the profiles for the headphones and IEMs that I was using. I thought that was kind of strange. And I said, isn't there supposed to be a difference? And yeah, there is. Now, what I had to do, and I'll give you an example real quick. Let's go to Odyssey. We can pick any one of them. Let's go to the Maxwell, right? That's what the Maxwell looks like. As you can see, it did not affect the analysis panel. Scroll all the way back up, turn it off. As you can see here, it does not affect the analysis panel. Now, anybody in the comment section, please tell me if I'm doing something wrong, because this is supposed to affect the analysis panel because you are changing the audio ever so slightly, and the analysis panel is supposed to pick it up if it's actually being detected. It's supposed to tell you what you're hearing, because I'm not hearing a difference. This is what led me to look at the analysis panel, not because I looked at the analysis panel first and didn't want to hear it. Caused me to investigate a little more to find out what was going on, and I noticed in the analysis panel, absolutely no difference. You see, the analysis panel does not change. Now, do you want to know if Hasubi is actually working? Well, let's find out. Let's disable it and enable it. Disable it and enable it. Using Hasubi does indeed work. However, the profiles in the Equalizer tab of Hasubi is not affecting the audio. And I said, Eureka! Okay, it's not just me. I'm not actually hearing anything because nothing's being heard. What I had to do was I had to use Equalizer APO, which is what Gadgetry Tech's guide tells you to do. It doesn't say use Hasubi. I created it manually by going this route. Now, there's two ways of doing this. You can either do it this way, or you can create a, what is it called? A graphic equalizer with variable bands, a graphics card. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I did it this way, and that's just my preference because I was able to create my own tab. I can actually see every individual peaking filter and what it was doing. It's my personal preference. How do I do this? Well, it's very simple. I went to Gadgetry Tech's website here, and I looked for the hardware in question, which is the Odyssey Maxwell. I tabbed over and selected Warzone. Then you go to Equalizer, and then you do Auto EQ. Creates a profile, then you want to export it. When you export it, it's going to look like this. Now, what you do is pay attention to the preamplification, because you're going to go back and change the preamp to -8. However, you're going to create it by clicking here, peaking filter, and you're going to click on this little icon right here. Now, before you do, you want to copy this all the way to it says on. Click here, and then you want to highlight everything to the word on, and then you want to hit paste and just hit enter. And as you can see, it matches exactly what you wrote. 25 hertz, -8.5 gain, and a Q factor of 1. It did exactly that. I did this for every one of these, all 10 filters. It only took about 3 minutes to do it. Didn't take that long. But there's another way of doing it. Now, I'm going to show you that by going to creating a graphic equalizer with variable bands. Scroll down a little bit. That's what it looks like. And instead of using the export, I'm going to now use export graphic EQ for wavelet. And it's going to look like this when you download it. Now, what you do is that you're going to highlight all of this all the way to where it says 20. You want all the digits, numeric values, I should say. You want to copy that and you want to go here, click on this icon again, and you want to paste. And there is the EQ. And it looks very similar to what is Gadgetry Tech's website for the most part. And all you do is enable it. You will now hear a difference. This was the problem I was having before. I was not hearing a difference. So this worked for me. This is the tweak that I offer you. You can do it or not. You may not even be using any profiles for your hardware. I would suggest that you do so because it does make a difference in your ability to hear footstep audio. A more natural sound is a better way of hearing footsteps. I would suggest you using the profiles. I use a mix of both Art is War and Gadgetry Tech, and I try to make it into one so that I can do what I want to do. I could have used Gadgetry Tech's guide. However, that meant undoing everything I did in Art is War. In my opinion, believe that it wasn't necessary to do that. I could keep the Art is War guide and just make some minor updates to it using Gadgetry Tech's profiles. And that's why I'm presenting this video to you today, because it is successful. I do hope this helps you. I do thank you for your time and have a nice day.